friends, this is the Blessed Family Ministry, and we are here today celebrating our very first anniversary. So today we wanted to share some few points to educate those people who are not made married yet. There's a few things which one needs to consider before getting married. And the first one is understand the values of your partner. How do you really understand the values of your partner? Because you don't want to get surprised when you get married that maybe this partner likes going in such and such a places whereby you yourself you don't want to get in such a places. Understand how one values God. Understand, like even the meals, understand one another very clearly. That's why it's important to marry a friend. So like you need to marry a friend. So you don't want to date for 2 days and get married. Of course you can date for 2 days. Like you need to date wherever you have that enough time to build that friendship, right? So that's very, very, very important for you to understand, because you don't want to be surprised in marriage, and that is something which happens once. So before you get in there, make sure you have time to build that bond.
Yeah, and to add to your point, it's like understanding your mate's value. Some people are selfish. You only want to know all about you. It's about me. I want to do this and this, but you do not want to understand what your partner likes. What are the wants and the don'ts that they don't value in their life. So it's important to have this discussion, or to learn your other partners, values, and that helps for a relationship to move.
Yeah. So that's very important. Make sure you pay attention on that. So don't rush.
Don't be rush. About self. It's all about me. It's all about everything. It's about me. So yeah.
So don't rush. Take your time.
When you are gonna enter a relationship, it's not gonna be now about you. It's gonna be about us. So it's important to learn that it's not gonna be all about you. It's gonna be about us. Yeah.
So make sure you have some values in common, such that you don't end up being selfish, or the other partner end up being selfish. That it's not like, if it's not my way, it's my way. So it's not our marriages don't work like that. You have to compromise some points, some things. So that's why you understand one another prior to that, so that you can be able to have at least things keeps on going.
Yeah. You wanna say the second point, so I can say the second.
Second point I would say about when you get closely that you are about to end into marriage, that's meaning engagement, you also need to discuss about family planning. Yeah, this is, I think, a very contentious topic, and it has a very diverse ways. There's no one way of approaching it, but from my study, I have come to realize that many men, they are very selfish when it comes to family planning. They subject their women to things which end up having some very bad consequences to their bodies. Many of marriages are breaking down because some of their family plannings are not working, because they don't get time to study, to get facts in that. So you get that a man is planning to subject the wife into very dangerous family plannings, which end up really leading to other health issues. So we may not mention about them, but make sure you really discuss about this. It's family planning. It's not the one person planning. It has to be a family planning. It's not just a woman is planning, it's not a man is planning, but it has to be a very mutual understanding of the course which both of you are about to take. Otherwise, there will be health issues coming, which would put toil on the wife. Yeah, and
which will even then lead to breaking of relationships, because health issues, that's one of the things that breaks relationships.
yeah, I'm not saying that men are very selfish, but in many instances, like, just discuss your sexual life. Discuss, I mean, like, before you guys get married, have you been using these contraceptives before, all these kind of things? So you get that people have been, men ladies have been using these contraceptives for a long time, and they have built these huge health issues on the lady. So when you discuss sexual life and all these kind of contraceptives and everything, you'll be able to realize and come to the point of which you are able to like mutually understand, and then so that it doesn't be like, the woman is taking this because she doesn't want to get babies or something like that. No. So that's a very something which is very crucial. We may not give all the evidence and all the information at this time, but make sure you have that conversation. Make sure you have that conversation before you fully commit. Don't get into marriage and start discussing about those things. So you need to understand. You need to plan even the family beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah, another third point, you are supposed to understand what you are committing yourself to. Some people just want mates, and anyone can be a mate to you, but they cannot be the right people, or they cannot be fit for marriage. So some people just want to have a relationship, and they don't want to engage themselves in a serious relationship. They just want a relationship for pressure. So if you don't discuss this thing from the beginning, that's why so many people get disappointed, because if you didn't discuss where this relationship is leading, one person thought that this relationship is ending in marriage. Another person, they are just there for pressure. They are not there to commit themselves. So one person, you meet that they finally get disappointed after a long time. Why? Because they didn't discuss it from the beginning. Someone didn't know what they are committing themselves to. You have to ask yourself the how, when, why you are entering this relationship.
That's correct. Yeah.
So many people get disappointed, and I feel like it's very crucial to know where you are, what you are engaging, or what you are committing yourself into before you get disappointed. Because if you discuss from the beginning, you will have continued with this relationship. Or if you were to continue, then you know where it's heading, and therefore nobody will get disappointed. So,
I think the problem happens when one of the partners says, like, let me see whether it works out.
Yeah.
You see, let me see. So you are not really sure.
You are just there to
testing the waters, make sure that if it works, well and good. If it doesn't work, yeah. So,
and that's where the problem is. If you are saying, let me see if it works, who's gonna make it work? It's me and you. So if you are there to just watch it working,
yeah,
it's not gonna work. You are already in your mind, you are like, it's not gonna work. So it's important to know what you are committing yourself to, and with that you avoid so many disappointments.
Yeah, so make sure you set your goals from the very beginning, like you are starting a relationship which will end up in marriage, and you're starting working towards that goal. But in an event, you get that you're the only person who is fighting in this relationship. The other one is actually finding reasons why this relationship should not work. So you get that all the times when a mistake happens. Mistake happens in when you're dating. I mean, sometimes one may offend the other in such a ways. But there is this character always attacks the relationship. Says like, it's better we resolve. It's better we
always
resolve.
do this.
Yeah. So
Last time you did this.
So you have kept these grudges again and again. Like, last time you did this. I think I'm going to end this relationship. I'm done. So instead of attacking the relationship, you better say, how can we solve this? That's how and when you can know somebody is very serious with that relationship. When you find, like, when a slight mistake happens, someone is always attacking, like, we can end. I don't think this relationship is working. I don't think we are matching. I don't think you are the right person. So you find a person who is always attacking the relationship. When a mistake happens, address the mistake. Don't attack the foundation. That's why you see things are not working down the line. So you really understand what you are committing. Like, that's a very serious point. Yeah.
Yeah. The fourth one. Yeah. The fourth point is that allow God's will to be done in this relationship.
Oh yes.
It's not what you want. We should strive to know what God wants, right? So God cannot give you a righteous person when you are not righteous. You want maybe let's say it's a lady. When you are asked what kind of a guy do you want, I want a God-fearing person.
Uh-huh.
I want a person who is maybe vegetarian, who is loving. All these how do we call all these
package
characteristics. You have written down a huge list. It's good to have a list. I had a list.
Wow.
So
I am the list. Anyway, yeah.
I had a list, but how can you have to have these characteristics? Or if you are loving, you want someone who's loving. Are you loving? You want someone who's God-fearing, who is righteous. Are you righteous? Are you God-fearing? You want someone who is caring. Are you caring? You cannot want what you don't own. So if you want this and this, then make sure you are exercising. And this is by allowing God to work in your life. God has said He will work with you both to do and to will. So what you have to do is to commit your will, and then He's gonna work with you both to do and to will for His good pleasure. So if something good, marriage is something God instituted from the beginning, and so you've instituted it from the beginning, He's gonna finish it. All you want to do is to submit to this will and allow God to be the driver. So on that point, I would say that allow God's will to be done in your life. It's not what you want, because most of the time is what we want is not what we want.
We don't include God in our lives.
So
the program. Yeah, that's very true, babe. So how do we include God in the planning? So there's a way that God has given us. We can communicate with Him, and that's prayer. How many times, how much do you dedicate yourself in prayer? Do you just faint? Because the Bible says men always faint and they don't pray. So in another instance it says we don't know what to pray for. But when we dedicate all these things to God, God is able to help us. God is able to help you to make sure that the purposes of your heart are aligning with His. Yeah, so I want also to discuss about do you think it's very important to notify your parents?
Yes.
Many people.
How long do you take to notify your parents?
Well, I think as sooner the better. The sooner the better. There's something which you don't want to miss. It's because the involvement of your parents. This is why people don't really engage the parents, It's because they are really not sure if these things is going to work out.
The fear of unknown.
It's the fear of unknown. It's the fear of unknown. And maybe somebody's not straightforward. Or in other things, in other times, maybe the parents will not agree with the choice that you have made. I have had friends which they have made choices and the parents are against those choices. But I have seen a few of them who have been successful because the parents changed their stances. So I think it's you don't want to miss that crucial advice. Parents may not really choose for your partner whom you are going to marry, but don't ignore counsels.
Of the parents.
If you have godly parents,
Yeah.
if you are blessed with godly parents, don't ignore. The sooner you tell them, the better, right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And you don't want to miss blessings, man. So
I was hesitant to tell my parents, but I can advise is a good thing because they were there to support from the beginning to the end. And I would have regretted if I didn't tell them because they helped, they supported, they did this, they gave advice. So I was like, oh wow, why was I not even wanting to let the parents know? So it's the fear of unknown that makes us to take some other paths. But we are advised the sooner the better the parents know because parents know much. Even parents can see the person you are with and they'll be like, oh no. It's not like they don't want them, but sometimes they have that
like they love you. The
have-
parents they love you. If you are not blessed with the parents, there is such a person. Talk to the pastors during counseling. When you attend during counseling, the pastors have a pastor whom you can be able to open your hearts to. If you are blessed with the guardians, people of age, but advantage you don't have parents. There is that person who's of elderly, whom you are able to confide your secrets to.
even godly friends who have gone through the path that you wanna take, they are gonna advise you. They are gonna tell you the advantages and disadvantages, the challenges they have faced, how they have gone through those challenges. Your pastor, Another point that I can bring is that invest in what do we call it, pastor, in counseling.
Yeah.
So, sometimes we invest in so much in things, or it's not bad on investing on the wedding gown, investing on food, but don't forget to invest in counseling from
Yes.
God, from your parents, and from friends and pastor and all these people. Those people have knowledge, so don't ignore anybody's counsel. Make sure how you apply it and how you take it. Take that which is good
Yeah.
and
Proof
dispose that which is wrong.
our
And you
prophesying
can
here.
prove them from the word.
Yeah. Just put everything on the basis of the word, and you are going to learn. Marriage you learn every day. So, but it starts from engagement, from dating, those few moments. If you didn't know maybe that the partner you choose will influence your life here on earth and life to come.
Yeah,
So
on this life
whoever you
and
are
life to
dating
come.
will influence whether you are going to heaven or to hell.
Don't scare people.
No, I'm not scaring. That is a fact. That is true. You may marry somebody who is on the road down to hell, and if you are on the road down to heaven, things would turn around. That's why it's very important you don't hurry this step.
It's raining.
Yeah. So you don't hurry these steps. So make sure you really create enough good time, dedicate time for prayer, get to know this person. Yeah. So
Maybe another point.
don't take too long and too short or too short. So it's always
Take
a balance.
counsel, yeah.
It's all right.
So it's raining. But
I know it's raining
another
out here,
point
but
is that,
it's the weather of the tropical. Yeah.
sorry, allow God. Make sure that God approves the step you are taking.
Yes.
So if don't allow emotions to control you. Like someone, you go to the parents, they are like, oh, this someone is not a God-fearing person.
Yeah.
It's gonna affect this relationship, not only now but in your marriage life. But you are like, oh, I love this person. Don't be a Samson. you know, you're like, I need her. If someone has advised you and you have listened to God through the counsels, or maybe from the people, from your parents, from your friends,
Yeah, right,
make
yeah.
sure don't allow emotions to control you, but allow God to control you, to take control of the step that you are taking.
I think that's a very big problem in the youth, with the young people. It's very hard to advise somebody who's in love. And it's true. It's very true. But when you really pray, you will get to control your emotions. I know, I understand it's very difficult for a young person to do that, but there's always that with God you can do all things. Just control your emotions. Because if you make decisions when you are angry, when you make decisions when you are under emotions, you will not make the perfect, you will not make the right decision, friends. So that's why today we wanted to encourage you that this path is not an easy, but it's doable.
With God.
With God.
God, all things are possible.
Don't
allow anyone to
Yeah.
to write to you that marriage doesn't work. Marriage works.
Yes.
So here what we need to do is to allow God to take control. So make sure what you do is something that will please God. Don't do something that will please you. Even Christ did not do something to please him, but what was gonna please the Father.
Yeah. And don't copy other marriages out there. Just create your own thing. So don't watch broken marriages in Hollywood, in soap operas, and all those kind of stuffs, and start applying in your life. When you see something going wrong, you say like, oh, it's going to break down. So, no.
Or comparing your marriages or your relationships. Oh, I saw this doing this, and you want your partner to do the same. These people are not the same, and they cannot express love the same way. So comparison is the best enemy to kill relationships and marriages.
Yeah.
So
don't just compare. Don't say, oh, my spouse was doing this to BSC, so can you do that to me? So when you bring competition in marriage, that's as my wife says, the best way you can resolve.
Best enemy to kill marriages and relationships.
Yes. So be content. Be satisfied with what you have. Yeah.
Oh, one before we finish.
Okay. Yeah.
I have so many. Make sure you walk your own lane with God. Not your own, by your own, but with God. Don't allow people to control your marriages and relationships. People are out there to watching everything. They are not even taking care of themselves or their relationships. But instead, they are there to watch everything you are doing. Some of them to tear down your relationship. Actually, most of them. Most of the people here are happy to see such and happy marriages and relationships.
Yeah.
So don't allow people to control your marriage or your relationships. And there has to be a limit where people can go, or a limit that people can see. Don't expose everything to people, be it your parents, be it your siblings, be it anybody. It has to start with us, and then other people, you have a limit that you can see. So
it's always that circle which no, with this father, no father.
Yeah, it's not all you see. That's how it's not what you see. It's not how it is. Essentially in marriage. So even the things we see on social media that we compare and admire, they might not look the same in real life. So take your own path and allow God, acknowledge God in this relationship, and He will guide you in all directions that you
Can
wanna
two
take.
work together unless they agree?
No,
No.
do not be
Unequally yoked with
yoked.
unbelievers.
Yes.
So
So,
you gotta build your thing. Make sure God is in the mix. You know, three chords. They are very strong, and God is the third chord. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining this podcast. We hope that you learned, and we are happy that you found this time to listen to this video. Hopefully, you learned something from it. Any closing words?
person wise, I'm like there's hope in everything. There's people who are out here who have lose hope. Maybe they haven't got the partner that they are praying for. Wait, God has said wait. Again, I say wait, and God will fulfill our needs according to His will. So all we need to do is to have patience and wait upon God, and He will fulfill it according to His promises.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.